We're here at Smith & Smith Glass, and we're going to talk to Peter Van Gils. The reason why we're here is because one of the most inconvenient things that can occur to any business owner is they have their windscreen broken on a real busy day. So let's go and have a word with Peter and understand the risks relating to windscreens and what that means in your day. We're here.
We are. Fantastic.
Yeah, cool.
Awesome.
Normally, Peter, we have a cup of coffee or a cup of tea at our place.
We do. So I'm reciprocating. So
yeah, that's nice. And you've got coffee.
I've got coffee and you've got your cup of tea.
And I've got a cup of tea. Yeah. But normally I drink coffee. So what's your coffee like? Is it better than our place?
My coffee? No, mix as good as
most people complain.
Do they?
Yeah.
I never complain about a free coffee.
Oh, that's good. That's good. So this is a very nice cup of tea, by the way.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah. Peter, when we are at our office, we often talk about the services that Smith & Smith give and how that actually applies to our businesses and our clients' businesses. Specifically in regards to the level of the disruption that a broken windscreen can cause to a business where that business relies on the motor vehicle. So one of the things that we mention, or you've mentioned to me, is that when you get a chip in your windscreen, that is really the best time to get it repaired. Can you just go through the technical aspects of that?
Yeah, when we get a chip on the windscreen, chances are it will turn into a crack. Belron, who are our owners, they've done extensive research on this.
Yeah.
And with the research that they've done, 80% of windscreens will crack within a certain period of time. So it is important to mitigate that crack, get you on the road quicker. The best thing that we could do is we supply saver patches, which customers can get from us, or they can get from their brokers, they can get them from you.
Yeah.
Just pop that on the outside of the windscreen. That's not going to stop it from cracking, but it will keep it clean and it will keep it dry. On a day like today, you really need to keep it dry because we don't want to try and get all that moisture out of the chip.
Yeah.
So, and again, come to us as soon as they possibly can. A lot of people think, oh my God, the windscreen's going to cave in. No, not the case. It's not going to cave in, but we do want to do the best job we possibly can. And by doing a repair quickly, we'll stop that from cracking, and we'll also leave the customer with practically a clear windscreen. There may be just a little blemish of like a raindrop,
yeah,
but that's all they'll see. The windscreen will actually be stronger in that place than the rest of the windscreen around it.
yeah.
And by the time we've had our cup of coffee, they're back on the road again.
Okay. Now that's for an ordinary motor vehicle, such as a low-priced vehicle, whereby it just take one windscreen, take the cracked windscreen out, and put the new one in. It's relatively that simple. Yes, it's about an hour, 2 hours.
For a windscreen, okay.
Yeah.
Again, we're just going back to the chip repair
Yeah.
again. If you've got a expensive car,
Yeah.
the windscreen's going to be expensive to replace. So if they can come in and we can repair it,
Yeah.
cheaper, quicker, better for the environment, all of those things.
Yeah.
With the windscreen for replacing, we've just launched through our parent company, Belron, a new adhesive. It has a half-hour drive away time, and the business traditionally has been an hour, and it still is an hour. We have a half-hour one, so we can get them back on the road really quick, which means by the time we put the windscreen back in and attached everything back onto it, you can almost drive out with it again. So particularly for fleets, taxis, couriers, people that need to be on the road,
Yeah.
they can get on the road now a lot quicker.
And you're saying an hour to 2 hours for a proper job?
We take the windscreen out,
Yeah.
which doesn't normally take that long. Once we get the adhesive on the windscreen,
Yeah.
and we get that adhesive, you get the windscreen back into the car,
Yeah.
half an hour is all it'll take to cure.
Okay. Wow.
And the reason that we do need it to cure is we don't want the windscreen moving with vibration, because you can cause leaks, and also if you do have an accident and the airbag hits the windscreen, it'll blow it out if it's not cured properly.
Right.
So that half-hour cure now is twice as fast as anything else.
Okay. And for the more expensive vehicles with a lot of the, what do you call it, the overhead display?
Yeah, the technology in windscreens these days is what we're calling the top of the line is
Yeah.
ADAS,
Yeah.
which is Advanced Driver Assist Systems. So that's
Yeah.
where the car starts to take over
Yeah.
when you're driving.
Right.
Now, I guess guess the challenge with that is that it relies on cameras.
Yeah.
And it relies on radar. Again, one of the things that we as a company have done is we've got some licensed equipment. We'll be licensed before the end of this year to do this recalibration ourselves. At the moment, we've got to take it back to the dealer.
Yeah.
The dealer then recalibrates and we get the vehicle back, and then it goes to the customer, which is a lot of logistics involved and takes a bit of time. So if we can do it ourselves in-house,
Yeah.
it's just going to, again, speed things up.
You know that we deal with an awful lot of 4x4s, and we're now getting in those high-end 4x4s and Land Rovers, etc. And we discussed the other day what happens in the event that a Land Rover, specifically the high-valued ones, gets a chip in the windscreen. And I think you said to me that it's better to get the patch over the windscreen if you have a chip, and then get the vehicle to Smith & Smith glass, and then they can fill it in, because if it actually takes a longer period of time, or they don't put the patch on, then the vehicle can be off the road for a day to 2 days whilst you take the old windscreen off, put the new one in, make certain it's all calibrated, etc. Do you want to go through that?
Yeah, if it turns into a crack, I mean, ideally we want to get to it before it turns into a crack, so
Yeah.
then there's no drama. They come in and job's done very quickly.
Yeah.
If that windscreen then does crack, then it will need to come out, and then there's the challenge of getting the right piece of glass for it.
Yeah.
Because the glass now these days, it's not just a piece of glass for a car. We carry 10,000 different pieces of glass. My Mondeo has 14 different choices of windscreen that can go in there.
Yeah.
So you've got all these other things that go with the replacement
Yeah.
as well. And again, with the high-end cars, windscreens are very expensive. So we want to get them repaired before we need to replace them.
Right.
And yeah, the sooner they can get them to us, the less chance that it's going to crack off. I mean, things can crack it like vibration.
Yeah.
A change in temperature this time of the year, people jump in the car, they turn their air conditioning on, because the glass is 2 layers of glass with a layer of plastic.
Yeah.
One expands faster than the other and puts pressure on the windscreen, and it'll crack.
Wow. And you also mentioned that, again going back to the 4x4 guys, that if they get a little speck of dirt in the windscreen where there's a chip, that can actually make you or put Smith & Smith glass into the situation whereby the windscreen has to be replaced because the dirt just fouls up the whole technology within that
Yeah.
windscreen.
Yes, if the dirt gets in there, if they're off-roading, for example,
Yeah.
there's a good chance they will get dirt in there, and then there's a chance we can't get the dirt out because it'll get into the crack and it'll just embed itself in there. And if you try and repair over that, you're always going to see that little bit of dirt,
Yeah.
and the customer's not going to be happy.
Yeah.
So the sooner we can get to it, or putting a saver patch over it, the cleaner we can get to it, the better job that we can make.
So this in reality is a perfect example of prevention is better than a cure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, always better. I mean, our philosophy is always to repair first.
Yeah.
And that's what we tell our underwriters, that we try and keep that repair ratio as high as we can.
Yeah.
Can't always do it because if it's not repairable, it's not certifiable or warrant printable, then we have to replace it. Sometimes we get customers who just want it replaced anyway because they do. Then that's something between them and their underwriter. But we will always repair first in every instance.
Yeah. You've shown me videos in the past about safety of vehicles and how important it is to have the windscreen properly set and what it does to the actual structure of the vehicle. This design of vehicles has changed dramatically, and I think you said that vehicles now rely upon the windscreen for the stability or the structural stability of the vehicle.
Yes, they do. About 30% of the structure of
Yeah.
the strength of the cab is now in the windscreen, so you do want it to stay put. Belron have done extensive testing,
Yeah.
crash testing that shows you what happens to test dummies when the windscreen doesn't stay put. Rollover tests, people believe that if they're wearing a seatbelt and the car rolls, long as they're wearing their seatbelt, they're okay. But again, there's evidence that if the windscreen pops out, people rely on the airbags and the seatbelts together, the safety features in the car, and they can still be thrown out of the car. And yeah, these videos demonstrate that.
Amazing, eh? So, one of the other issues that I've got in regards to RiteTrack and what we're trying to do with saying prevention is better than the cure, we focus very much on the human element in the vehicle. And touch wood, there is no water in here. I'm a firm believer that I'm not going to have any windscreen breakages, and that's because I'm aware and conscious of keeping my distance from other traffic. Mind you, some of the guys in the car club would probably not agree with that about my style of driving, but I haven't had a broken windscreen. What are your comments to human behaviour, the human element in regards to preventing windscreen breakage?
Prevention is the best way, and again, it's when a stone flicks up into the air,
Yeah.
that stone is not attacking you, you're attacking the stone. So the faster you go, the faster that stone's going to hit the windscreen. And that's why on the open roads, particularly with roadworks, we get a lot of windscreen damage. In Auckland, driving to work over the Harbour Bridge in the morning, hardly likely to happen. If you're doing 10, 15, 20 k's, even if a stone does fly up and hit your windscreen, it's probably not going to do anything.
Yeah.
So where there are roadworks and it says slow down, slow down. Again, if you're behind a truck, increase your following distance, because if it flicks something up, it's not that it's flicking at you at a great rate of knots, but if you're travelling behind a truck that's moving at 80 k's, then you're still going to hit that stone at 80 k's. So it's better to stay out of the way of the stone.
So again, as I just said, it comes down to that human element,
Yeah.
and the driver being aware of the risks that are around him
Absolutely.
to
Yeah.
prevent that loss from occurring.
Yeah, and again, when it does become a chip, we advertise extensively. Come and see us. Let's get it fixed before it's a crack. Again, to try and be proactive, to try and keep the cost down, to try and get the customer back onto the road quickly.
Yeah. Showing me earlier the new technology in windscreens.
Yep.
Can we just have a look at that? So for the people that are viewing that.
Yeah, we can certainly have a look at the
Yeah.
video. Basically, what that is telling us is what's going to be coming up in the future.
Yeah.
You're talking about tired drivers. These things will drive the car for the driver. There are trucks out there now that they're experimenting with, long haul trucks with
Yeah.
They do get fatigued, and the driver needs to be there, but he just needs to sit there. Any sign of trouble, the truck's going to let you know. So,
Scary, isn't it?
It is scary, and you've got to rely on your technology.
Yeah.
But the technology is certainly getting pretty advanced.
Yeah. So you've got it on your laptop.
Yes.
Over there. So if we could just have a quick look at that, and then so that the people who are viewing this can actually see it as well. And we
Yeah.
just have a quick run through that.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Tell us what's happening on this, Peter.
Basically, this is just a video that's called Autoglass 2000, and what it's just showing you, I think it's a BMW, and the sort of technology now that that the car has on board. And
So it's not a Morris Minor.
It's not a Morris Minor, no. It's not a Harrington. it's a BMW.
Yeah.
And the technology now is displayed on the windscreen because that's the safest place to put it. Your eyes don't have to deviate from the road.
Yep.
So, and it comes up with, as you'll see, it's self-descriptive. It comes up with all the warnings, speeds. You've got stereo cameras now on cars that give you a 3D picture around the car. These cameras can read road signs, so they're in control of the speed you're doing. You've got LiDAR radar, which does the stopping for you, and of course LiDAR is the new advance in radar, which again provides a 3D picture arrangement now with an equipment provider, which will license the equipment for us in New Zealand, and we'll be able to work on a lot of the cars that do have this technology.
When you've got the windscreen working, you've still got the readout on your dashboard of the car as well?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that just provides a heads up, what they call heads up display, so you don't have to bow your head down to look at your pieces. Plus, and the technology is becoming more economical. I mean, these days people now pretty much have rain sensors when you buy a new car. Screens are getting heated.
Yeah.
So that sort of technology, I think the Mazda 3 Limited's got heads-up display, and you're going, well, it's only a Mazda 3, you know, it's got all this onboard stuff. Yeah. And again, that does make the windscreens expensive, and again, you know, that's why we always try and repair before we replace.
What is the cost of the top-end windscreen these days?
Top-end ABS windscreens, they'll be over $1,000, and then you've got the calibration costs and the administration around that as well. Compared with, you know, a normal standard windscreen, which is $200 or $300, it's significant.
So what's the I own a top-line BMW. I have a chip in the windscreen, or windscreen breaks, has to be replaced. I bring it in here to Smith & Smith, and you do the replacement.
Yes.
Of that windscreen, and then you recalibrate it.
Yeah, well, we take it for recalibration. So we take
To
it back to
BMW.
BMW because they've got the equipment. We will have the equipment. I've seen in our North Shore branch, we've tried one out on a Mercedes. Not straightforward as people think. You know, there's things put on the wheels. There's laser beams that go from the front wheels to the back wheels to line everything up. Then there's cards that the camera looks at and calibrates, and then you go into the electronics of the car and set all that up. So we are absolutely assured that it all works. And there is a vehicle out there, I can't think of the name of it at the moment, but this vehicle needs full tank of gas before you can calibrate it. So there's all of these things. We have an extensive list through Belron and our technical team of every vehicle that needs to be recalibrated, because it's quite frightening if people don't know that they need to calibrate a car and just give it back uncalibrated. And you know, it's anybody's guess whether or not that vehicle is going to perform to its specifications. And there's a few of them out there now, and it's growing, and every year we're adding to the list, and they're getting more complicated. Now with the 3D surround vision, the big car makers, the Mercedes and the BMWs have all pretty much got that equipment now in their glass, but the smaller ones are not far behind.
So one day we're just going to be able to sit in the car like we're sitting on a couch, and it's just going to take us wherever we want to go.
Well, yeah, that's where it's heading. I mean, I've seen pictures of Google cars where the guy gets in the car and the car just drives.
Tesla car.
And the Tesla car, and I know they've had some issues with it, so there's always going to be the odd teething issue, but
yeah.
at the end of the day, that's the way technology is certainly going.
We're not in control anymore, are we really?
Doesn't seem to be.
No.
I think people like to be in control. I mean, people still like to drive a manual gearbox.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just personal preference. They just like the feel of being in control.
Yeah. And unfortunately today, many people aren't in control. And that's where I have this interest in prevention, to assist people to be back in control. Because that's really the thing which is going to prevent the loss, and not only that, prevent a lot of downtime and inconvenience and higher costs, etc.
Absolutely, and we are really trying as an organisation to educate people. So we're out there, we've got an approved ANZIF course, and we've got an approved IVANS course directed at brokers. We've been to car clubs, we've been to really anyone who wants to listen, talking about just this, the technology in windscreens, how we can prevent loss.
Because otherwise it will all get out of control and very, very expensive.
Yeah, absolutely. And we want to get people back on the road quickly too.
Yeah, because I suppose at the end of the day it's an economy thing as well, isn't it?
It is, absolutely. And again, the challenge is, as I think we touched on, is the glass. You know, we stock 70,000 pieces of glass in our distribution centre.
Here in New Zealand?
Yes, yeah. And between Auckland and Christchurch, where we've got our two big distribution centres, that's a lot of glass. And that's,
who would have thought that there
growing.
were 70,000 different types of
70,000 with 10,000 different types.
Yeah.
So a lot of glass, absolutely. So the challenge there is quite demanding as well. And working out what people need in their cars too. You ask somebody, does your car have a rain sensor? And they sort of look at you.
Pass.
your windscreen wipers come on automatically when it rains. Oh yeah, they do. Okay, so you have got rain sensors. So we need to make sure we've got the right piece of glass. What they're putting into glass these days as well is the interlayer, the plastic interlayer, an acoustic one.
Okay.
So what that does is it sucks up the sound, sucks up road noise, and it sucks up noise in the car. So that the way the trend is going as well is that voice command is going to become popular. So you'll be able to talk to your car, you get lonely, have a chat with your car, but you can say, turn the lights on, turn the lights off, I want the music louder, things like that. So if you've got a nice quiet environment, that's going to work really well. So acoustic is designed for that, so that there's no...
So you can actually do some meditation whilst driving.
Possibly, yeah. Well, if the car's driving for you, you might as well.
How relaxing is that?
And what else is going into cars as well is again, an environmental layer that's can manage the environment of the car, can stop the sun from coming in and heating the car up. So again, efficiency. You don't need to use your aircon so much because the glass is doing it for you.
Well, Peter, thank you very much for your time.
More than welcome. Always nice having a chat with you.
It is. And I learn such a lot every time we do meet.
Oh, and vice versa. You know, I like learning about the industry as well, other than glass.
Cool. So, I trust as viewers you've actually learned an awful lot about your cars and the importance of keeping your windscreens clean and also chip free. And if you do actually have a chip, make certain you get it repaired as quickly as possible. Otherwise, your car's going to be off the road for half a day and at worst a day. And then there's all those other technical issues as well if things don't go well. But also, if you do have those problems, contact Smith & Smith Glass. They know what they're doing. So, till next time, look forward to having a chat. So,
safe driving.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome,
It's been
John.
really good.